Mrs. Shelton's art room. Today we're going to be making koalas. We're going to start off with some crayons to draw our outline of our koala. I'm going to start off with a black crayon. You can start with a pencil if you want to try to erase first and you're scared if you're going to make mistakes, but I'm going to be using a black crayon right now to go ahead and do my basic outline. So let's get started. First thing that we're going to do in our big paper is I'm going to head towards the middle of the paper and I'm going to make a big U shape, really big, in the middle of the paper. This is going to be the bottom of our koala face. Now we're going to add the top part of our koala face. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make my U go further up. And I'm going to do a straight line across. And now we have our koala face shape. Next we're going to put on the ears. So we're going to start in this top corner. And I'm going to make a big curve up here. Another curved line down. And attach it to the side of the face to make a big koala ear. Because koalas have really big furry ears. We're going up. And around. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to put in our big koala nose. So we're going to do an upside down U. So straight line, and then curve around, and straight line down. Big upside down U, and then a straight line to connect the bottom of our koala nose. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and remind myself that my koala nose is black, so I'm just going to color in my koala nose. We'll add some more texture and color to this later, but this is just going to remind us that we need to have a nice black nose for our koala. We're going to color nicely inside of the lines. Now let's put in some koala eyes. We need a big oval and a little oval. Color that little oval in black. Big oval and little oval. Now we're going to get eyebrows. Now let's put in a koala body. We come in here and we're going to take a line, and we're going to take this line from the neck out here, and I'm going to go curved line all the way to the bottom of my paper. Curved line all the way to the bottom of my paper. And I'm going to do another curved line here for the inside of the belly, and another curved line in right here to the other, all the way to the bottom of my paper. Now we're going to add some koala arms. I'm going to do a straight line here, a straight line here, and then connect with the U shape. And straight line out, and connect with the U shape. Now we're going to add in some of our background. We're going to put in, but I'm going to switch from my black crayon to my brown crayon, and I'm going to come in here and put in a line going from the bottom all the way up to the top. I'm making kind of a tree shape, like the trunk of a tree, because koalas like to hang out inside trees. So big line all the way down to remind us where we want our tree trunk to go. I did it from the top to the bottom, and it's okay if it kind of goes off the page right here. Next, I'm going to grab a green crayon. We're going to come up here and we're going to do some leaf shapes at the top. So I'm going to start at the top of my paper and do a curved line. And then I'm going to start on the other side and do a curved line till it meets at a point. Curved line. Curved line. I'm going to start over here, curved line. We want nice big leaves. I'm going to make this leaf look like it's coming out from behind that tree right there. Curved line. Now I'm going to take my yellow crayon and I'm going to put in a line here to remind me where the leaf of my vein is. And that's going to be the starter for our koala. The next part of our picture is going to be done with using some paint. So now we're going to get our paint ready. We're going to need some black paint and white paint to make gray for our koala fur. We're going to need a little bit of green, a little bit of brown, and a little bit of yellow. If you do not have paints at home, you can use colors or markers, whatever you have to go ahead and color the next part. Alright, so I've gotten myself my paintbrush. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint in the white parts of my picture first. So I'm going to get my paintbrush, put a little water on it, not too much. I'm going to get some white paint and I'm going to go ahead and start a fast forward while I paint in the white parts. We're going to put a dot where we need to paint things white. We're going to need white here in this ear. We're going to need white in this ear. I'm going to need some white on my belly. So we're going to mark them and make sure you remember what parts you're doing white. Now that we painted in our white part, we're going to go ahead and mix our gray and paint in our gray. So you're going to have gray paint, or you're like me, might have to mix some gray. So if you only have black and white, you have to mix your own gray. You mix gray by taking a little bit of black and a little bit of white and mixing it together. The more white you mix in, it's called a tint, the lighter the gray. The less white you mix with the black, the darker the gray will be. I'm going to mix my gray color for my koala, and I'm going to put dots in on the areas that I want to make gray. I know I want him to have a gray face, and he needs the two sides need to be gray, and the arms need to be gray. So I've got my dots in there to remind me which areas I'm painting gray. Now we're going to start another fast forward while we put in the gray part. Alright, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add in a little yellow paint for the eyes. So I'm going to go over here and get my yellow paint. If you don't have yellow paint, you can use a yellow oil pastel or a yellow crayon to do this part. You might do a little bit of both. Alright, now we're going to go in and we're going to add some paint on our background leaves and our tree trunk. So we're going to use some green and yellow and white to kind of make some pretty leaves. So I'm going to get some green here and I'm going to put some green on my leaves. If I want to make them a little fun, I might mix a little yellow in so that my leaves are more of a yellow green. Okay, now I'm going to add a little last bit of detail with my black paint. Now that we have our little painting of our koala done, we're going to let it dry, and we can add a third step to our koalas by adding texture to it. Okay, it's not completely dry yet, but I'm going to go ahead and add a few things. I've taken a piece of yellow chalk and adding in a little line on our leaves. Get some little details. Brighten them up just a little bit. I'm going to take a little yellow chalk, a little white chalk. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to kind of show you how we're going to add a little detail. So it's almost dry here, but I'm just going to go in with my white chalk and add some little little lines for texture and fur.